Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. So today we are going to again discuss about the Guru Puja and its various finer aspects. So what is Guru Puja and why is it so central to spiritual practice? Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us. Guru Puja is a sacred invocation, a Vedic way of honoring the lineage of enlightened masters. It acknowledges that knowledge doesn't arise in isolation but flows through an unbroken chain of gurus. By performing Guru Puja, a seeker expresses gratitude, humility, and surrender. It creates receptivity so that the grace of the masters flows effortlessly for art of living practitioners. Guru Pura precedes advanced courses and various programs like Sanyam Level 1 and Level 2, also Art of Living Advanced Art of Silence programs. It establishes a sacred space, purifies the mind, and tunes one into devotion. It's not ritualistic alone, but a transformative inner offering. Now, what is the significance of the verse Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami? This verse means I bow to Shiva, the glory of cosmic life, and Bhavani, the creative power. Together, it acknowledges that Guru is both Shiva or the consciousness and Shakti or the energy. In the Vedic tradition, no creation exists without the union of these two. Guru embodies both the stillness of Shiva and the dynamism of Shakti. When disciples bow to Guru, they are bowing to the totality of creation and its source. This union of masculine and feminine principles is central in Tantra, Vedanta, and Vedic Dharma. Now, what does Aratrikam symbolize in Guru Puja? Yes, Aratrika is the waving of light before the Guru. Symbolically, it is the removal of darkness and ignorance, just as a lamp illuminates even the darkest corner. The Guru's wisdom lights up the path of the disciple. In the ritual, it's not just a physical light, but the light of awareness being invoked when performed with devotion. It reminds us that the Guru is the inner sun who dispels doubts, fear, and confusion. Thus, Aratrikam is an external expression of an internal truth that knowledge destroys ignorance instantly. Now, could you explain the term Achimanyam and its deeper meaning? Achimana or Achimanyam refers to sipping of water in a ritual for purification. In the Guru Puja, this step signifies cleansing not only the body but also one's speech and mind. Water is symbolic of life, fluidity, and clarity. When the disciple performs the Achmana, it's a reminder to enter the puja with the purity free of negativity. In the Vedic Dharma, water is seen as sacred or apaha as the bearer of prana. Thus, Achmanam is both a physical act of purification and an inner resolve to keep one's mind clear and receptive. Now, what is the importance of Pushpanjali in Guru Puja? Pushpanjali means offering flowers with folded hands. Flowers signify purity, beauty, fragrance, and blossoming of the heart. Each flower offered is symbolic of surrendering one's ego, desires, and impurities at the feet of the Guru. Just as flowers blossom and spread fragrance selflessly, disciples are reminded to live with openness, joy, and service. In Art of Living, offering flowers is not just ritual, it reflects letting go of burdens and receiving grace. Flowers wither, yet they leave behind beauty. Similarly, devotion outlives the body and connects us to eternity. Now, the words Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara is very popular. What does it mean? This verse identifies the Guru with the Trimurti of the Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The Guru is the Brahma, the creator of new life through wisdom. The Guru is Vishnu, sustaining and protecting the disciple in their journey. The Guru is Shiva, destroying ignorance and ego. Thus, the Guru embodies creation, preservation, and dissolution, all aspects of cosmic intelligence. By equating Guru with the deities, the Vedic tradition emphasizes that Guru is not merely a human teacher, but the living embodiment of divinity itself. Now, what does Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha deepen and how does it deepen this idea? This verse goes further. It says the Guru is directly Param Brahma, the ultimate reality. Sakshat means tangible, visible before us. The Guru is not just an intermediary but a doorway to the absolute. Bowing to the Guru is bowing to Brahman itself in Advaita Vedanta. The Guru is the mirror who shows the disciple their own true self as Brahman. The Guru is both the path and the goal. That is why this mantra concludes with deep reverence to that Guru I bow down. Now, what does Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yen Characharam convey? This mantra beautifully describes the Guru as the consciousness pervading the entire universe. Akhanda Mandalakaram means the unbroken infinite sphere of existence. Vyaptam Yen Characharam means that which pervades all moving and unmoving beings. Essentially, the Guru is not limited to a body but is universal consciousness. When we look at Guru only as a person, we miss the vastness. This verse expands our vision to see Guru as all pervading. In everything, it instills humility and awe, helping us see that Guru's grace is never absent. Now, could you expand on Sri Brahmananda Paramasukdam Kevalam Jnanamurtim? This is a profound description of Guru. Brahmananda means the bliss of the absolute. Param Sukadam is the giver of supreme joy, not dependent on objects or situations. Kevalam signifies the one, self sufficient, beyond duality. Jnanamurtim is the embodiment of pure knowledge. The Guru, therefore, is not just a teacher of knowledge, but knowledge personified. When disciples sit in the presence of the Guru, they experience uncaused joy, peace, and clarity. It is this living embodiment of wisdom that transforms seekers from within. Now, how does the phrase Vishwa Atitam Gagana Sadrasham Tattvam Asi Laksham guide a disciple? This verse means the Guru is beyond the universe, vast like the sky, and is the very embodiment of the Mahavakya Tattwamasi, Thou art that. It teaches that the Guru's role is not to create dependence but to point the disciple towards their own divinity. Just as the sky is limitless and unaffected by clouds, the self is vast and untouched by worldly experiences. Guru shows the disciple this truth that their essence is not limited but the infinite consciousness. Now, what is meant by Ekam Nityam Vimala Achalam? Yes, so this verse describes the Guru as the one eternal, pure, and unshakable. Ekam means the non dual reality. Nityam signifies timelessness. And Vimalam denotes purity beyond blemishes. And Achalam means immovable. The Guru is established in this eternal truth and is unaffected by worldly fluctuations. For a disciple, this teaches steadiness amidst success or failure. The self remains unchanged. By contemplating on the Guru as eternal and pure, seekers are reminded of their own true nature. It is both a description of the Guru and an instruction for the disciples' spiritual maturity. Now, what role does Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam play in understanding Guru? Sarvadi Sakshi Bhuta means the Guru is the witness of all intellects. The Guru represents the consciousness that silently observes all thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment or attachment. In Vedic philosophy, the Sakshi Bhava or witnessing state is the key to liberation. By identifying with the witness rather than the mind, one transcends suffering. Thus, Guru is not only the external guide but also the inner witness within each of us. This verse helps disciples shift from being entangled in experiences to resting in awareness, the true Guru principle. Now, what does Bhavatitam Triguna signify about Guru? Bhavatitam means beyond all states of existence, beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Triguna means free from the three gunas of Sattva or the purity, Rajas or the activity, and Tamas or inertia. The Guru is established in that pure consciousnness which transcends all dualities. For the disciple, this verse points to the possibility of rising above conditioning. Normally, people oscillate between the three gunas, but Guru shows that the state beyond. In essence, it describes the Guru as not limited by nature, mind, or moods, but rooted in absolute truth. Now, why is Guru called Sadguru in the final words? The word Sadguru means the true Guru, the one who leads the disciple to the ultimate truth, not just temporary relief. A teacher may impart knowledge, but a Sadguru awakens the self. The final line, Sadgurum Tam Namami, is a culmination of reverence, surrender, and gratitude. It recognizes that only through the Sadguru can ignorance end and liberation dawn. In Vedic Sansthan, Sadguru is revered as rare and precious. The disciples' bow is not just an external gesture, it is a total offering of ego opening the way to enlightenment. Now, what is the meaning of Agyana Andhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya? This line compares ignorance to blindness. Agyan andhasya means one blinded by ignorance, while Jnananjana Shalakaya means the ointment of wisdom applied to the eyes. The Guru is likened to the physician who applies the medicine of knowledge, enabling the disciple to see reality clearly. Just as vision transforms one's interaction with the world, wisdom transforms life itself. This verse highlights the Guru's compassion. Not only does the Guru have knowledge, but he also shares it in a way that heals the blindness of seekers. Now, why does Guru Puja emphasize surrender again and again with Namami? Namami means I bow down. Repeated bowing is not mere ritual but a continuous reminder of your humility. The ego naturally resists surrender, but every time the disciple says Namami, the heart softens. Guru Puja emphasizes this again and again. to help dissolve resistance. Each bowing symbolizes letting go of pride, judgments, and expectations. In Vedic Dharma, surrender is considered the highest strength. It allows grace to flow unobstructed. Thus, a repetition of Namami is both an act of devotion and a method of ego dissolution. Now, how is the Guru seen as the embodiment of Shiva Shakti in Guru Puja? In Guru Puja, the Guru is described as both Bhavam or Shiva and Shravani or Shakti. This acknowledgement that the Guru is not one sided but represents the complete cosmic principle, pure consciousness, and dynamic creation. Shiva without Shakti is inert, and Shakti without Shiva is directionless. Together, they manifest creation and liberation. The Guru embodies this unity, wisdom with compassion, stillness with dynamism, and transcendence with the immanence. For disciples, this vision balances spiritual practice, not escaping the world, but engaging with it from a higher consciousness. Now, how does Guru Puja connect with daily spiritual practice? Guru Puja is not meant as an isolated ritual but as a daily reminder of the Guru principle. It tunes the mind to devotion, gratitude, and receptivity. Just as the radio must be tuned to receive signals, the disciples' heart must be tuned to receive grace. By performing Guru Puja daily, one starts the day in surrender, making actions aligned with dharma and wisdom. It also purifies subtle impressions in art of living. Advanced practices are preceded by Guru Puja because it brings stillness and sanctity, preparing seekers for meditation. Now, why is Guru Puja performed before various art of living courses and programs? Guru Puja creates a sacred atmosphere and invokes the lineage of masters in art of living. Before silence courses or advanced meditations, Guru Puja is performed to attune the group to devotion and reverence. It ensures participants move from intellect to heart, making them open and receptive. Advanced practices involve deep meditation, and Guru Puja sets the foundation by calming restlessness. It also connects seekers to tradition, reminding them that they are a part of an eternal stream of wisdom, not isolated individuals. Thus, Guru Puja bridges the outer world and inner silence. Now, how is the concept of lineage emphasized in Guru Puja? Guru Puja begins with remembering the masters of the lineage from Narayana to Adi Shankaracharya to one's own Guru. This invocation shows that wisdom is not a creation of one person but a transmission through centuries. Lineage gives authenticity and continuity. It reassures the disciple that the knowledge they receive is time tested and blessed by countless masters. In Vedic Dharma, lineage parampara is sacred because it ensures the purity of wisdom. Guru Puja celebrates this chain, reminding us that by honoring the Guru, we honor the entire parampara behind him. Now, how does the Guru Puja cultivate humility in a seeker? Humility is the foundation of spiritual progress. So, Guru Puja repeatedly uses the act of bowing, offering, and acknowledging the Guru as the supreme. This breaks the false notion of I know or I am separate. Humility does not mean weakness, it means openness. Just as water flows to low ground, grace flows to a humble heart. By performing Guru Puja daily, the seeker trains the mind to drop arrogance. Over time, this translates into daily life, listening more, judging less, and being receptive to truth. Guru Puja thus transforms the ego into surrender. Now, what is the symbolic meaning of offering water in Guru Puja? Water represents life, purity, and flow. In Guru Puja, offering water symbolizes offering one's very life to the Guru. Just as water cleanses and refreshes, surrendering to the Guru purifies the heart. In Vedic rituals, water is considered sacred or apaha, embodying prana or the vital force. The act of offering water expresses, I am ready to be molded, purified, and sustained by wisdom. In daily life, it reminds us to remain fluid, adaptable, and humble. The Guru, like a river, nourishes all without discrimination, and disciples are aligned with this flow. Now, why are flowers specifically used in Pushpanjali? Flowers embody beauty, purity, and impermanence. By offering flowers, the disciple symbolically offers their virtues and imperfections alike. A flower blooms fully, spreads fragrance selflessly, and withers gracefully, qualities that reflect an ideal devotee's life. In Pushpanjali, the heart blossoms in devotion, offering its fragrance of love at the Guru's feet. Flowers also represent thoughts. When offered, they signify surrendering the mind itself. In Guru Puja, each flower becomes a prayer. May my life be as fragrant, pure, and selfless as this blossom. Thus, Pushpanjali is an inner offering expressed outwardly. Now, how does Guru Puja help dissolve karmic impressions? Guru Puja is not only symbolic but energetic when performed with devotion. It invokes grace that burns past karmic impressions or samskaras. Each bowing, offering, and mantra creates vibrations of surrender that weaken old patterns of ego, fear, and attachment. The Guru is present invoked in the Guru Puja acts as fire, dissolving impurities. Just as gold shines brighter when purified by fire, the disciple's mind becomes clearer. Over time, karmic burdens lighten, making meditation deeper and actions purer. Thus, Guru Puja becomes a karmic cleansing process, paving the way for liberation. Now, how is the mantra Tattvamasi reflected in Guru Puja? Tattvamasi means thou art dad. Guru Puja repeatedly points the disciple back to this truth that the same divinity in Guru resides within oneself, and we bow to Guru, we are also bowing to our higher self. The Guru's role is to reveal this non dual truth. Guru Puja thus balances devotion with wisdom while honoring Guru outwardly. It awakens inner realization. The mantras remind disciples not to stop at personality worship but to see Guru as a mirror reflecting their true essence, limitless, eternal, and divine. Now, Jai Gurudev, so what is the role of sound and vibration in Guru Puja? The mantras of Guru Puja are in Sanskrit, the language of vibration. Every syllable carries a resonance that affects mind and consciousness. Chanting these mantras aligns the body's subtle energies with universal vibrations. It's not only the meaning but also the sound that purifies. Repetition of words like Namaha or I bow calms the ego. Vibrations like Akhanda Brahmanandam and Param Sukhadam elevate awareness. In Vedic Dharma, sound is creation itself. Guru Puja harnesses this principle by chanting. The disciple not only honors the Guru but also tunes into cosmic harmony. Now, how does Guru Puja relate to Advaita Vedanta philosophy? Advaita Vedanta emphasizes non duality, that the self and Brahman are one. Guru Puja reflects this by declaring Guru as Param Brahma, the supreme reality. It points to the truth that Guru is not merely a person but a consciousness itself. The words itself, said such as Tattvamasi Laksham, directly echo Advaita teachings. Yet it does so through devotion, making the philosophy experiential. In bowing to Guru, the disciple symbolically surrenders individuality, entering unity. Thus, Guru Puja is Advaita in practice, blending devotion or bhakti with wisdom or the jnana seamlessly. Now, why is Guru called the embodiment of knowledge or jnana murtim? In Guru Puja, Guru is described as Jnana Murtim, the embodiment of knowledge. This doesn't mean intellectual information, but wisdom that transforms life. Knowledge in Vedanta is self knowledge, the realization of one's true nature. Guru embodies this, and not just in words, but in presence, silence, and actions. A disciple learns as much by being near Guru as by hearing teachings. The Guru's very being radiates wisdom, dispelling doubts naturally. Thus, Guru is called Jnanamurti, not merely a knower of truth, but true embodied, truth embodied, accessible to disciples. Now, how does Guru Puja connect a disciple with gratitude? Gratitude is at the heart of Guru Puja. Every verse acknowledges the Guru's role in creation, sustenance, dissolution, and liberation. By performing Guru Puja, the disciple reflects, without Guru's grace, I would remain blind in ignorance. This generates deep thankfulness, dissolving complaints and negativity. Gratitude opens the heart, making meditation effortless. In Art of Living, Guru Puja before advanced courses brings participants into gratitude, or even before a happiness program, Guru Puja preparing them to receive wisdom. Gratitude also transforms daily life, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Guru Puja is thus a training in grateful living. Now, how does Guru Puja help bridge tradition and modern spirituality? Guru Puja is rooted in ancient Vedic tradition yet highly relevant today. In modern times, people seek meditation and stress relief but often miss the depth of lineage. Guru Puja bridges this by connecting seekers to thousands of years of wisdom while addressing present needs. Its symbols like flowers, light, water are timeless, while its mantras carry eternal truths. For modern practitioners, Guru Puja is a way to remain grounded in tradition without dogma. It keeps spiritual practice authentic, ensuring that meditation is not just technique but sacred transmission from Guru to disciple. Now, how does Guru Puja connect to the Guru Shishya Parampara in the Vedas? The Guru Shishya Parampara is at the heart of the Vedic tradition. Knowledge was never written down first. It was passed directly from Guru to disciple through oral tradition, vibrations, and lived experience. Guru Puja honors this unbroken lineage. Every time we chant, we invoke all Gurus from Narayana, Brahma, Vashishta, Shakti, Parashara, Vyasa, then Shuka, Gaudapada, Govinda, Bhagavad Pada, Adi Shankaracharya to present masters from Krishnanand Saraswati to Brahmanand Saraswati to Maharshi Mahesh Yogi Ji to His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, and it will continue in beyond for thousands of years. It's a reminder that wisdom is not invented but revealed and preserved by enlightened beings. By remembering them, we align ourselves with that eternal current of knowledge and grace. Now, how does Guru Puja help overcome ego and arrogance? Ego thrives on separatedness, on thinking, I am the doer, I know everything. Guru Puja is an act of bowing down, literally and internally. The moment we place flowers at the Guru's feet, our heart softens. A false sense of I dissolves. Chanting the lineage reminds us that all wisdom comes through Gurus, not from our small intellect. This surrender does not make one weak, it makes one receptive, humble, and strong from within. Ego blocks learning, but devotion opens the channel of grace. Thus, Guru Puja is the highest sadhana to transcend arrogance and experience unity. Now, can you explain the line Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavasthangatopeva in detail? The line means whether pure or impure or in any state, one who remembers the lotus-eyed Lord becomes purified inwardly and outwardly. It highlights the transformative power of remembrance in daily life. We may feel impure due to mistakes, emotions, or external circumstances, but the remembrance of Narayana, the all pure, cleanses us completely. Guru Puja begins with this invocation, reminding us that no matter what our state is, approaching the Guru with sincerity washes away impurities. This is both psychological and spiritual, removing guilt, restoring clarity, and creating a sacred atmosphere for the offering. Now, how is Pushpanjali Samarpayami spiritually significant? Pushpanjali means offering flowers, but flowers symbolize the qualities of the heart. When we offer a flower, we are actually offering our love, gratitude, and surrender. Flowers are soft, fragrant, and naturally beautiful. They represent the blossoming of our own consciousness in Guru Puja. Pushpanjali is the act of placing our blossomed self at the Guru's feet. It is not the flower that matters, but the devotion behind it. Even a dry leaf offered with pure love is more powerful than 1,000 expensive flowers offered mechanically. Thus, Pushpanjali is the language of the heart in action. Now, why Sri Guru Charan Kamalebhyo Namaha repeatedly emphasized? The phrase means salutations to the lotus feet of the Guru. The Guru's feet represent humility, groundedness, and the foundation of wisdom. In Indian tradition, touching the feet is symbolic of receiving blessings and anchoring oneself in knowledge. The lotus is pure, though it grows in mud. Similarly, the Guru lives in the world but remains untouched by its impurities. By bowing to those lotus feet, we remind ourselves to rise above worldly attachments. The repeated emphasis is to deepen surrender each time, to break layers of resistance, and to absorb blessings fully. Now, how do the lines about Shankara, Brahmananda, and Saraswati relate to Guru Puja? Guru Puja invokes Sri Shankara, Brahmanan, Saraswati, and the luminous lineage of Shankaracharyas. Shankara symbolizes wisdom, Brahmanan Saraswati symbolizes bliss, and Saraswati represents the flow of knowledge. Their remembrance grounds the disciple in tradition. For example, Adi Shankaracharya was the one who revitalized Sanatana Dharma through Advaita Vedanta, while Brahmanan Saraswati ji established meditative traditions in recent times, which was carried on by Maharshi Mahesh Yogi ji through his transcendental meditation movement. And the same process continues with the Art of Living Foundations with Sudarshan Kriya, and the same mantra of the Sahat Samadhi meditation continues as a form of meditative tradition. Saraswati as knowledge ensures that the wisdom we receive is both eternal and ever fresh. In chanting their names, we align with qualities of clarity, bliss, and higher understanding that they embodied. Now, how does the Guru Puja influence one's meditation experiences? Guru Puja is like priming the soil before planting a seed. Meditation is the seed. Guru Puja makes the soil fertile. When we chant, bow, and offer gratitude, our mind becomes calm, respectful, and surrendered. A surrendered mind is more ready to slip into meditation. That is why, in the Art of Living tradition, Guru Puja is done before advanced meditations like Sahat Samadhi meditation or during silence courses. It softens the inner chatter, removes restlessness, and invokes grace so that meditation becomes deeper, effortless, and transformative. Without it, meditation may remain mechanical. Now, why is Guru Puja considered both science and devotion? Guru Puja is scientific because sound vibrations affect the nervous system and consciousness. The mantras used are precise, each syllable producing measurable resonance. Psychologically, bowing and offering increases oxytocin levels, reduce stress, and strengthen neural pathways of gratitude. Spiritually, it awakens devotion, which is the highest form of surrender. Thus, Guru Puja balances both hemispheres of the brain, the analytical and the emotional. It integrates science and devotion into one practice. Science explains the how, devotion explains the why, and together they make Guru Puja a complete tool for inner transformation. Now, how do children or beginners benefit from learning Guru Puja? Children who learn Guru Puja early develop reverence and humility naturally in today's world where arrogance and restlessness dominate. Chanting Guru Puja grounds them in values of gratitude and respect, even if they don't fully understand the meaning initially. The vibrations of the mantra create calmness and focus for beginners. Guru Puja gives them a direct connection to the Guru lineage, ensuring that their spiritual practices carry grace. It also builds discipline, devotion, and cultural rootedness. Many parents in the Art of Living community notice that children who chant Guru Puja are more respectful, peaceful, joyful, and focused. Now, how is Guru Puja different from idol worship? Guru Puja is not idol worship. Idol worship is symbolic devotion through forms, but Guru Puja directly honors the living tradition of enlightened masters. Here, the Guru is not seen as a personality but as a channel of universal consciousness. The flowers, mantras, and salutations are not to a form but to the wisdom that flows through the Guru. Even when we visualize lotus feet, it is symbolic of surrender, non attachment to a body. Thus, Guru Puja elevates one from external worship to inner recognition of the Guru Tattva, the eternal principle of guidance. Now, how does Guru Puja connect us to the ancient Guru Parampara? Guru Puja is a living thread that ties us directly to the Guru Parampara from Adi Shankaracharya to our present Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji. Every verse invokes not just the individual Guru but the entire lineage, ensuring we receive blessings from centuries of wisdom. In the act of offering, we acknowledge that knowledge is timeless, not personal property, and comes from an unbroken flow. Chanting names of the masters while doing puja is like tuning into a sacred frequency that has been sustained for thousands of years. Now, could you explain the line Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam in Guru Puja? This beautiful phrase describes the Guru as a living embodiment of Shruti or the Vedas, Smriti or the laws of Dharma, and Puranas or the stories of wisdom. The Guru is not separate from the scriptures, he is their living expression. Alayam means abode, so the Guru is the repository of all scriptural wisdom. At the same time, he is Karunalayam, an abode of compassion. Without compassion, knowledge remains dry. Guru combines both the highest wisdom and boundless compassion, making him the perfect guide. Chanting this verse in puja reminds us that knowledge and compassion are inseparable. Now, what is the significance of Throtakam Vartikakaram Anayam Asmat Gurum Sanatam Smarami? This line acknowledges different disciples of Adi Shankaracharya, Throtakacharya, Vartikakara, Sureshwaracharya, and many other gurus who carried forward the tradition. It shows humility that we remember not just one teacher but all who preserved wisdom. Sanatanam Smaramami means I constantly remember them. It is an act of gratitude and awareness that our knowledge today is possible only because so many gurus carried it through centuries. Guru Puja thus trains the mind in reverence and humility, making us aware that we are part of a much larger spiritual current, not isolated seekers. Now, why do we bow with the phrase Shri Guru Charana Kamlepyo Namaha? This phrase means salutations at the lotus feet of the Guru. The lotus symbolizes purity, it remains unstained through growing in muddy waters. Similarly, the Guru lives in the world but remains untouched by it. The Guru's feet symbolize the foundation of knowledge. Bowing at them is not about physical feet but surrendering the ego at the very base of wisdom. In the Vedic tradition, feet are considered carriers of sacred energy. As they touch the earth and channel stability, this act reminds the disciple to remain grounded in humility while receiving spiritual elevation. Now, how does the Guru Puja act as a preparation for meditation? Guru Puja quietens the mind, expands the heart, and deepens gratitude. The chanting creates vibrations that calm mental chatter. When you bow in reverence, the ego softens, and meditation becomes effortless. Without surrender, meditation often becomes a struggle of concentration. But after puja, the mind feels light and receptive, making meditation a natural flow rather than a forced practice. Many practitioners experience that when they chant Guru Puja before Sudarshan Kriya or silence programs, the depth of meditation increases manifold because the heart has already opened in devotion and surrender. Now, why does Guru Puja place such importance on lineage of the parampara rather than individual worship? In our tradition, knowledge is never seen as an individual's property, it flows through a lineage. Guru Puja reminds us that wisdom comes from the eternal chain of masters from Narayana to Adi Shankaracharya to our present Gurus. This lineage is the reason a knowledge has remained unbroken for thousands of years. By honoring the parampara, we dissolve the ego of my Guru and acknowledge the universal flow of wisdom. It creates a sense of continuity and belonging that connects us beyond time and geography. Individual worship is limiting, lineage worship is liberating. Now, how does the Guru Puja connect to the daily practices of Sudarshan Kriya, Pranayama, and meditation? Guru Puja prepares a subtle environment for practice, just like you clean your body before entering a temple. Guru Puja cleanses your inner space when you do pranayama and Sudarshan Kriya after invoking the lineage. The practices penetrate deeper, removing stress and karmic impressions at the root. Meditation becomes effortless because your mind is tuned to the higher vibration of the masters. Without Guru Puja, practice may still work, but with it, there is a sense of sanctity, surrender, and expanded energy. It transforms technique into sadhana and sadhana into devotion. Now, in what way is Guru Puja also a form of self purification? Guru Puja is not just about offering flowers or chanting mantras, it's about dissolving the impurities of the ego. When we bow down and say, I am nothing, you are everything, the arrogance of individuality melts away. This humility purifies the heart just as water cleanses the body. Remembrance of Guru cleanses the mind. Every line in Guru Puja addresses our inner impurities of ignorance, doubt, pride, restlessness, and replaces them with wisdom, clarity, devotion, and joy. That is why after Guru Puja, practitioners feel lighter, calmer, and more centered. It's an inner purification ritual. Now, what is the significance of chanting Guru Puja in Sanskrit specifically? Jai Gurudeva, Sanskrit is the Deva Bhasha, the language of vibration, clarity, and precision. Each syllable is a mantra carrying a certain frequency that resonates with our nervous system and subtle body. Guru Puja in Sanskrit is not merely a poetic prayer, it is a sonic technology. For instance, words like Apavitra Pavitruva Sarvavasthang instantly align our consciousness with purity. Translating them loses this vibrational effect even if one does not fully understand the words. Chanting in Sanskrit awakens dormant energies, sharpens intellect, and invokes the blessings of the rishis who composed it. Now, how do Guru Puja and Seva or selfless service complement each other? Guru Puja cultivates devotion while Seva is devotion in action. If Guru Puja is inhalation, drawing in strength, blessings, and grace, then Seva is exhalation, expressing that grace through action. Without Seva, Guru Puja remains incomplete because devotion must flow outward to the world. Similarly, Seva without Puja can become dry and mechanical. Together, they create balance. Puja gives the inner fulfillment and Seva brings outer expression. Gurudev often says meditation will bring depth, Seva will bring breadth, and together they will make complete. Now, how does the Guru Puja establish a link between the devotee and the Guru Parampara? Guru Puja is not just an external act, it's an inner alignment. When one chants the verses and offers flowers, the subtle vibrations connect the individual to the entire lineage of enlightened masters. This is why the puja begins by invoking Narayana, Brahma, Vasistha, Shakti, and so on, and continues down the lineage. The seeker experiences a flow of energy and wisdom from the unbroken chain of masters. This link ensures that the individual's efforts are guided and uplifted by the blessings of the tradition. In Art of Living, how is the Guru Puja practically taught to participants? Guru Puja is taught as a sacred ritual during advanced programs such as the Art of Living Part 2 course or even Guru Puja Phase 1 and Phase 2, and even if you can practice it during the happiness program and certain teacher training sessions as well. Participants are guided in both chanting and the significance of each mantra. They learn pronunciation, meaning, and how to maintain purity of intention. Importantly, they are taught that it is not mere ritual but an expression of gratitude. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji emphasizes that the essence of puja lies in sincerity, not mechanical performance, and that chanting with devotion brings the deepest connection to the divine. Now, many wonder why Guru Puja includes offering flowers. What is the meaning of this act? Offering flowers is symbolic of offering one's heart, mind, and actions to the Guru. A flower represents freshness, purity, and fragrance, just as a flower blooms naturally. The seeker's devotion blossoms in the presence of the Guru. Each flower placed at the feet of the Guru or in remembrance of the lineage signifies surrender of one's ego, desires, and impurities. In Art of Living, participants are told that the fragrance of flowers reflects the fragrance of inner qualities like love, humility, and service that should be cultivated and offered in every moment of life. Now, could you explain why Guru Puja begins with purification mantras such as Apavitra Pavitrova? The mantra Apavitra Pavitrova acknowledges that whether one feels pure or impure by remembering the lotus-eyed Lord Pundarikaksha, both inner and outer purification take place. This sets the tone for Guru Puja, reminding the seeker that perfection is not required to approach the divine. What matters is remembrance. The mantra dissolves guilt, unworthiness, or hesitation, allowing the devotee to participate with openness. In the Vedic tradition, this beginning ensures that the space, the mind, and the body are sanctified before invoking the Guru lineage. It's like cleansing the vessel before pouring sacred nectar into it. Now, what is the significance of reciting the names of the Guru lineage in Guru Puja? Yes, Jai Gurudev, reciting the Guru lineage of Narayana, then Brahma, Vasistha, Shakti, Parashara, Vyasa, Shuka, Gaudapada, Shankara, Padmapada, then Trutaka, Hastamalaka, then Sureshwara, and then Krishnanand Saraswati ji, Brahmanand Saraswati ji, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi ji, then His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji, and so on and so forth till the future Gurus also for anchors the seeker to a spiritual heritage that spans centuries. It reminds us that the wisdom we receive is not isolated but has been preserved and transmitted by realized beings. This lineage chant creates humility as the individual realizes they are part of something much larger than their limited identity. In Art of Living, this reminds participants that Gurudev is not a solitary teacher but a continuation of an eternal river of wisdom and compassion. Now, Guru Puja invokes both the Shruti and Smriti. Could you explain their role in spiritual tradition? Shruti refers to what was directly revealed, like the Vedas, eternal wisdom that the rishis heard in deep meditation. Smriti is the remembered knowledge, like Itihasa, Puranas, and Dharma Shastras, which makes Shruti accessible to people through stories and practices. Guru Puja honors both as complementary. In Art of Living, Gurudev often explains Shruti as pure truth and Smriti as its application in daily life. Together, they represent timeless wisdom and its living relevance, reminding us that true learning is not just intellectual but experiential and guided by the Guru. Now, how does the Guru Puja bring humility in a seeker's life? Guru Puja is an act of surrender. When a seeker bows before the Guru, offering flowers and chanting verses, the ego naturally dissolves. In our text, surrender is not weakness but supreme strength because it opens the channel for divine grace. Just as water flows into a valley and not a mountain peak, wisdom flows into the humble. Guru Puja is a conscious practice to let go of arrogance and invite receptivity. Over time, this humility extends to everyday life, improving relationships, work ethics, and service to society. It transforms seekers from within. Now, the words Anato Asmi Sharanam Gatosmi is central in Guru Puja. What does it mean? The verse means, I am helpless, I have come to your refuge. It's a declaration of surrender in spiritual life. Acknowledging helplessness is not despair but freedom because it ends the illusion of control. When a seeker says this, it's like dropping all burdens at the Guru's feet. Gurudev explains that when you surrender, solutions arise effortlessly, just like a child finds security in a parent's arms. A disciple finds strength and clarity at the Guru's refuge. This verse captures the essence of bhakti and the heart of Guru Puja practice. Now, why is the Guru's feet or Paduka emphasized so much in the puja? The Guru's feet are symbols of grounding, humility, and the path to liberation. Feet carry the Guru across the world to uplift humanity. They also touch the earth, connecting the infinite with the finite. In scriptures, Pada means not only feet but also foundation, step, or teaching. When we worship the Paduka, we are honoring the very path of wisdom. It is said Guru's feet hold the dust of compassion that purifies the disciple. In rituals, offering flowers to the Guru's Paduka signifies anchoring oneself in dharma and divine guidance. Now, Guru Puja includes offering flowers of Pushpanjali. What is its inner significance? Flowers symbolize the blossoming of the heart. When we offer flowers, we are symbolically offering our qualities, our fragrance of devotion, our freshness of awareness, and even our withered tendencies that need transformation. Just as a flower does not hold back its fragrance, a disciple is encouraged to live openly, radiating joy. Gurudev says, your life should be like a flower, beautiful, natural, and offering fragrance to everyone without discrimination. Pushpanjali is therefore more than a ritual gesture. It is an affirmation that we are ready to live with openness, purity, and surrender to the divine. Now, can you elaborate on how Guru Puja strengthens the bond between teacher and disciple? Guru Puja is not a ritual done to please the Guru but to strengthen the sacred bond of gratitude. When a disciple chants the verses, bows, and offers flowers, it becomes an act of surrender. This humility opens the disciples' heart to receive the Guru's grace without resistance. The Guru does not seek worship, instead, the disciple needs to express reverence so that ego drops and receptivity rises. This bond is like a river flowing into the ocean. The disciple merges into the Guru's wisdom, feeling nurtured, guided, and protected at every step. Now, how do the specific Sanskrit verses in Guru Puja impact the consciousness of the one reciting them? Each Sanskrit syllable carries vibration and resonance. The verses of the Guru Puja are composed in meter and rhythm that harmonize with the subtle body when recited with wisdom and devotion. They awaken higher states of consciousness. For instance, invoking the Guru's lineage connects the mind to an unbroken flow of wisdom stretching from Adi Shankaracharya to present teachers. This dissolves feelings of isolation and fills the disciple with strength. The vibrations purify the environment, calm the nervous system, and align the practitioner with sattva or the purity, clarity, and balance, which is why chanting is as important as the meaning. Now, why is gratitude emphasized so strongly in Guru Puja? Gratitude is the key to abundance. When we acknowledge the source of our knowledge and guidance, our life becomes more fulfilling. Guru Puja is a structured way of expressing gratitude not only to the Guru, but to the entire lineage, scriptures, and divine energies that sustain us. Gratitude shifts the mind from lack to fullness. It makes the disciple more capable of receiving subtle knowledge because a complaining or arrogant mind blocks learning. In Guru Puja, every flower, every mantra, every gesture says, I am grateful for the wisdom that frees me. This transforms the seeker's consciousness. Now, how is Guru Puja relevant in today's fast paced modern world? In modern times, people are often restless, stressed, and disconnected from tradition. Guru Puja provides an anchor. It gives a sense of continuity with something eternal beyond the rush of daily life. When professionals, students, or householders perform it, they feel centered and aligned. It's not about abandoning modernity, but about bringing balance. Just as we recharge devices, Guru Puja recharges the spirit. It reminds us that amidst technology and deadlines, wisdom and inner peace remain the true treasures. That is why, even in urban homes across the globe, people practice Guru Puja daily. Can children or young seekers learn Guru Puja and what is its impact on them? Absolutely, Jai Gurudev. Yes, absolutely. Children are naturally pure and receptive, so Guru Puja resonates deeply with them. Learning the verses improves memory, pronunciation, and focus. More importantly, it instills reverence, humility, and discipline at an early age. Many parents in the art of living encourage children to learn Guru Puja because it gives them a spiritual foundation. Instead of growing up with only material values, they learn gratitude and respect for teachers. The impact is seen in their calmness, improved concentration in studies, and a joyful attitude. For children, it becomes a source of inner strength and protection. Now, what role does a visualization play while chanting Guru Puja? Visualization is subtle but powerful. As one chants, a disciple imagines the Guru seated in front, radiating light and compassion. Flowers are offered not mechanically, but with the feeling of surrendering all desires, ego, and burdens. Visualizing the Guru's lotus feet helps anchor the wandering mind, while imagining the flow of lineage connects one to centuries of wisdom. Visualization transforms ritual into meditation. It bridges form and formlessness. The external action links with the inner devotion. This is why teachers emphasize not only correct chanting, but also deep feeling and imagination so that every verse becomes a living experience. Now, how does Guru Puja prepare a seeker for advanced meditation practices? Guru Puja purifies the mind of restlessness, ego, and distractions. It acts like an early gate into deeper states. When a seeker bows down, the mind shifts from I know to I am ready to learn. This surrender is essential for advanced meditation, like Sahat Samadhi or deep Kriya practices. Without such humility, the intellect keeps questioning and blocking experiences. Guru Puja makes the seeker's mind like fertile soil, ready to receive the seed of meditation. That is why it is often performed before deep spiritual sessions, creating a sacred atmosphere for inner silence. Now, is Guru Puja specific to one tradition or is it universal in a sense? Yes, Jayagurudev, while Guru Puja as taught in the art of living follows the lineage of Adi Shankaracharya, the essence of Guru Puja is universal. Every tradition honors the teacher, whether it is a rabbi, a priest, a monk, or a spiritual guide. In Buddhism, bowing to the master is common. In Sufism, disciples revere their peer. In Christianity, saints and apostles are remembered. Even in Islam, they remember Allah. The form may differ, but the principle is the same, acknowledging the one who shows the path. Guru Puja simply expresses this in the Vedic way, yet its essence or gratitude and surrender is timeless and beyond boundaries. Now, how do art of living participants describe their experience after performing Guru Puja regularly? Many share that Guru Puja brings immense peace and clarity. They feel protected and guided in life. Some report that conflicts and relationships dissolve because the ritual softens the ego. Others notice increased focus in work as the mind becomes calmer. For Kriya practitioners, Guru Puja deepens their experience and takes them into meditation quickly. Overseas participants often say it gives them a connection to Indian spiritual roots even while living far away. In essence, they describe it as coming home every day, a feeling of belonging where the heart is rested in devotion and gratitude. Finally, what message would you give to someone who wants to understand Guru Puja? I would say approach it with openness, not as a ritual, but as a living expression of love. You don't need to know Sanskrit perfectly or understand every word at first. Just sit with a heart of gratitude, listen, and participate with sincerity. Over time, the meanings unfold naturally, and you will feel its transformative power. Guru Puja is a bridge, it connects the seeker to the source of wisdom and to the infinite. It is like lighting a lamp in your heart every day with patience and devotion. It will illuminate your life beautifully. Now, how does Guru Puja highlight the continuity of the Guru Shishya Parampara? Guru Puja is not just a prayer to our immediate teacher, but an acknowledgement of the unbroken chain of masters from time immemorial. Each verse remembers sages and saints who preserved knowledge and carried it forward selflessly. This way, the ritual keeps us rooted in tradition while connecting us to a timeless spiritual lineage. It instills humility, reminding us that what we learn today is the fruit of generations of realized masters who pass wisdom without distortion, enabling us to walk the path with guidance and grace. Now, what is the significance of chanting in Sanskrit during Guru Puja? Sanskrit is a divine language often referred to as a Deva Bhasha. Every syllable carries a vibration that impacts consciousness and the environment. Chanting Guru Puja in Sanskrit activates subtle energies and purifies the mind. Unlike translation, Sanskrit preserves the original vibrations intended by the rishis. The sound combinations align with cosmic patterns, awakening dormant energies in the seeker. When repeated with devotion, these chants quieten mental chatter, enhance focus, and create a sacred atmosphere. This is why even today Guru Puja is recited in its pure Sanskrit form, ensuring authenticity and spiritual depth. Now, can Guru Puja be done mentally without reciting it aloud? Yes, Guru Puja can be done internally. Once a practitioner has learned the verses and imbibed their meaning, silent chanting is equally powerful. Mental recitation allows deeper absorption without distraction. The essence is remembrance and gratitude, not just the audible sound. However, vocal chanting has the added effect of vibration in the environment, which uplifts a collective consciousness. In silence, one's inner energy is refined, while aloud, the environment benefits too. Advanced practitioners often switch between both chanting aloud in gatherings and meditating silently in solitude, ensuring balance between individual and collective upliftment. Now, how does the Guru Puja prepare the disciple for deeper meditative states? Guru Puja acts as a bridge between worldly engagement and transcendental silence. Through chanting, the restless mind is anchored, emotions are purified, and the ego melts in devotion. By surrendering to the Guru principle, the disciple becomes receptive and centered. This receptivity is essential for meditation, while effort gives way to effortless being. Just as soil must be tilled before sowing seeds, the mind must be softened with devotion before experiencing stillness. Guru Puja thus acts as a preparatory ground, aligning body, mind, and spirit for meditation to blossom naturally. Now, is Guru Puja a form of surrender or is it more about empowerment? It is both surrender and empowerment. On the surface, Guru Puja appears to be an act of surrender, bowing down, acknowledging the Guru's grace, and offering oneself completely. Yet, in that surrender, the ego dissolves, leaving the disciple free and empowered. By letting go of limited identities, one taps into infinite potential. Just as a river merges with the ocean and becomes boundless, the disciple expands when aligned with the Guru. Therefore, Guru Puja is a paradox where humility leads to strength and surrender opens doors to inner freedom and empowerment. Now, could you elaborate on the invocation of Srimad Sri Lasitam Jagat Guru Padam Natvatma Triptim Gataha in Guru Puja? Yes, this phrase honors the Jagat Guru, the universal master, whose lotus feet bring ultimate fulfillment. Natvatma Triptim Gataha means that by bowing down with humility, the soul attains deep contentment and satisfaction in art of living. This is more than words, it is an inner attitude of gratitude. When we remember Gurudev or the lineage of masters in this way, our mind shifts from restlessness to surrender and we experience fullness much like a river merging into the ocean. Now, what is the significance of Lokagyana Payoda Patanda Duram in Guru Puja? Yes, this beautiful phrase refers to the Guru as a remover of the dark clouds of ignorance that overshadow the world. Loka means the people, Jnana is knowledge, and Payoda refers to clouds or waters of ignorance. The Guru, like the rising sun, clears these clouds and bestows clarity. At the Vedic Dham Sansthan, we connect this directly to the scriptures where the Guru is described as Jnana Vriddhi, the one who brings the rain of wisdom in daily life. Guru's guidance removes confusion and brings practical clarity in all our actions. Now, the verse mentions Sri Shankaram Sharmadan Brahmananda Saraswatim. How does we understand this? Jai Gurudev, yes, this is a direct remembrance of Adi Shankaracharya, who is honored as Sharmadam, the giver of peace. He revitalized Vedic wisdom and consolidated Advaita philosophy, ensuring its survival across centuries. Brahmanan Saraswati refers to his lineage, extending to our contemporary masters in art of living tradition. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji is acknowledged as part of this ancient tradition. By invoking them, we remember that peace and bliss or ananda are not mere ideals but living experiences that come when the Guru's grace touches our lives. Now, how does the Guru Puja balance ritualistic devotion with the inner meditation? Guru Puja is both outer and inner. Outwardly, we offer flowers, water, incense, and recite mantras. Inwardly, the act is meditation, for the mind merges with the remembrance of the Master. The offering symbolizes surrender of our ego, desires, and actions. At the Vedic Dhamsansan, we emphasize that rituals without awareness are incomplete, and meditation without gratitude can become dry. Guru Puja integrates both, creating a balanced practice where devotion flowers into meditation and meditation enriches devotion. Now, why is chanting in Sanskrit important in Guru Puja? Jayagurudev Sanskrit is called Devavani, the language of the gods. Its sounds carry vibrational power independent of meaning, even if someone does not fully understand each word. Chanting creates harmony in the mind and environment. Research has shown that Sanskrit chanting activates both hemispheres of the brain, bringing balance. In Art of Living, students who learn Guru Puja experience how the rhythmic flow of these mantras calms the nervous system and deepens meditation. It is not about religion but about connecting with the universal vibration of consciousness. Now, how is Guru Puja connected to the idea of parampara or tradition? Guru Puja is essentially a celebration of parampara, the unbroken chain of wisdom flowing from master to disciple. Each name chanted in the puja acknowledges this transmission. Just as electricity flows only when the circuit is complete, spiritual energy flows through a living lineage. At Vedic Dhamma Sansthan, we explain that without parampara, knowledge remains theoretical. Through Guru Puja, we honor not just an individual guru, but the entire stream of enlightened masters who preserved and passed on Vedic wisdom through millennia. Now, can you explain the role of flowers in Guru Puja? Flowers symbolize purity, beauty, and impermanence. Offering flowers at the Guru's feet means we are offering the best of what we have, our blossomed qualities, our fragrance of sincerity, and even our transience. Just as flowers eventually fade, we acknowledge the temporary nature of life and surrender it into the eternal. In Art of Living, while doing Guru Puja, every flower is placed with a prayer that our mind becomes as pure and natural as the flower itself, free from arrogance and attachment. Now, what is the relevance of Avahanam, Asanam, Snanam, Vastram, Chandanam in Guru Puja? Jai Gurudev, these are symbolic offerings in the ritual. Avahanam is invocation, inviting the Guru's presence. Asanam is offering a seat, symbolizing respect. Snanam is ritual bathing, meaning purification. Vastram is clothing, symbolizing dignity and protection. Chandanam is a sandal paste, representing cooling and calming energy. Though symbolic, they reflect deep reverence. At the Sansthan, we emphasize that these steps help cultivate bhava or devotional attitude. They remind us to treat the Guru not as a human personality, but as a living presence of divinity. Now, how does Guru Puja prepare one for advanced spiritual practices like Sudarshan Kriya or Sahat Samadhi program? Guru Puja purifies the subtle channels of the mind and heart, making one receptive. When performed before Sudarshan Kriya, the meditation becomes deeper because the heart is open in gratitude. For Sahat Samadhi, it helps the mind slips easily into stillness as resistance is reduced. Gurudev has often said that knowledge flows where reverence is present. By doing Guru Puja, we align with that reverence and advanced practices blossom with greater intensity, giving profound experiences of silence and expansion. Now, finally, how can someone begin to understand and connect with Guru Puja even if they are new? One does not need to be a Sanskrit scholar or ritual expert. The first step is simply listening with reverence. Even sitting quietly while the puja is chanted can bring a sense of peace. Over time, we understand that as understanding grows, one can learn the meanings and participate actively. At Vedic Dham Sansthan and Art of Living, we encourage newcomers to experience Guru Puja as a heartfelt connection rather than a mechanical ritual. With sincerity, even a single offering of gratitude is enough to invoke the Guru's grace. Now, can you explain the significance of the Guru Puja line? Yadvare Nikhila Nilimpa Parishad Siddhim Vidatte Nisham. This line means by whom the entire assembly of celestial beings gains the siddhis or attainments. It acknowledges that the Guru is the channel through which even the most elevated beings receive their fulfillment. For us, it means that no matter how much knowledge, wealth, or power one acquires, without the grace of the Guru, it remains incomplete. Gurudev often says that the Guru connects us with the infinite reservoir of existence, making us whole and fulfilled. Now, how does the Guru Puja preserve the lineage of knowledge? Guru Puja is an act of parampara smaranam or remembering and honoring the lineage. Each name invoked from Narayana, Padmanabha, or Brahma and Vasistha down to Adi Shankaracharya anchors a disciple in an unbroken chain of wisdom. This lineage ensures that what is received is not fabricated but timeless truth. The ritual keeps the tradition alive by reminding us that what we learn is not personal invention but divine revelation passed on through countless generations of enlightened beings. Now, why is Guru Puja performed before Sudarshan Kriya or advanced art of living courses or even Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2? Yes, Jagadev, Guru Puja is a way to purify the space, the participants, and the teacher. When the mind bows down, resistance and ego soften, making the disciple ready to receive higher knowledge and experience. Sudarshan Kriya is a powerful practice that requires receptivity. Performing Guru Puja before it creates an atmosphere of devotion and humility, ensuring that the Kriya is not done mechanically but with awareness, gratitude, and surrender, allowing its transformative power to work fully. Now, how is Guru Puja different from regular prayer or worship? Regular prayer is often transactional, asking God for blessings, health, wealth, or peace. Guru Puja, on the other hand, is purely an offering. There is no asking, only surrendering. It's about honoring the lineage and expressing gratitude without seeking personal gain. This act of selflessness elevates the consciousness, making it distinct from ritualistic worship. Guru Puja aligns the disciple with the tradition, reminding that the Guru is not separate from divinity, but its a living embodiment. Now, why is Guru Puja traditionally learned only during certain advanced programs like Art of Living or Sanyam program of level 1 and level 2, or even TTC programs or Sahaj TTC? Guru Puja is not just about words, it's a sacred vibration. The transmission happens when you learn it directly from a teacher who has been initiated. It cannot be picked up casually like a song. Silence courses create the right environment of purity, receptivity, and depth for learning it. This ensures that the disciple not only learns the pronunciation but also imbibes the reverence and sacredness, making it a living experience rather than a mechanical chant. Now, can you describe the role of flowers in Guru Puja? Flowers symbolize purity, freshness, and the blossoming of the heart. In Guru Puja, offering flowers at the Guru's feet represents surrender of our ego, our desires, and our karmas. Just as a flower spreads fragrance without expecting anything in return, so must a disciple offer themselves in seva and devotion. The act also connects us to nature, reminding us of simplicity and beauty in surrender. Flowers are not just decoration, they carry symbolic and vibrational significance. Now, why does Guru Puja mention both the Shruti, Smriti, and Purana? Jayagurudev, Shruti refers to what was heard directly from the divine or the Vedas. Smriti remembers and refers to the remembered knowledge like Dharma Shastras, and Purana refers to ancient stories imbued with wisdom. By mentioning all these, Guru Puja acknowledges the complete body of spiritual wisdom. It tells us that the Guru is the living embodiment of all forms of knowledge, direct revelation, remembered tradition, and wisdom transmitted through stories. This reinforces that the Guru transcends texts and bring alive their essence. Now, how does chanting Guru Puja affect the mind and emotions? Chanting Guru Puja synchronizes the breath, mind, and heart. The rhythmic pronunciation and deep intonation of Sanskrit syllables calms the nervous system. Devotion brings tears of gratitude, releasing suppressed emotions. Ego loosens, humility arises, and the mind becomes light. Scientific studies in mantra chanting show reduction in stress, and increase in coherence of brain activity. Guru Puja combines both devotion and mantra, creating profound balance between intellect and heart, resulting in serenity and expanded awareness. Jagadev, so is Guru Puja universal or does it belong to a specific tradition only? Though Guru Puja, as we know, it comes from the Advaita Vedanta lineage of Adi Shankaracharya, the essence is universal. Every tradition honors its teachers, whether through hymns, chants, or rituals. In Christianity, disciples wash the feet of the master. In Buddhism, devotees prostrate before the teacher. In Islam, all the devotees worship Allah. Guru Puja is simply a structured, poetic, and deeply devotional expression of that same universal principle that wisdom flows through the Guru and honoring the source makes the knowledge blossom. Now, what is the ultimate experience one can gain through Guru Puja? The ultimate experience is Advaita Bhava, oneness with the Guru and the divine. When performed with full devotion, Guru Pujas dissolves the sense of separation, gratitude blossoms, ego melts, and one feels the living presence of the entire lineage of masters. For many, tears flow effortlessly, bringing immense relief. Others experience deep stillness and joy. Ultimately, Guru Puja awakens the awareness that the Guru is not outside but the light of consciousness shining within oneself. Now, could you also explain the significance of Karunalayam and how it reflects in the Guru Puja chant? Karunalayam means the abode of compassion. The Guru is not merely a transmitter of knowledge, but the very embodiment of compassion. Compassion here is not pity or sympathy, it is unconditional love that uplifts. When the chant describes the Guru as Karunalayam, it reminds us that no matter how lost we feel, the Guru's grace is always available. Exactly, in the Vedic tradition, the Guru is compared to a wish fulfilling tree because out of compassion, he provides what the disciple truly needs liberation, peace, and wisdom. In Guru Puja, this word assures the devotee that the Guru's compassion flows like a river, washing away ignorance and sorrow. Now, one more subtle meaning hidden in the Guru Puja mantra is that Guru is not just an individual, but the very flow of knowledge or Gyan Prava. When we chant Shruti, Smriti, Puranam, Alayam, Karunalayam, it reminds us that the Guru is the living embodiment of the Vedas, the Smritis, the Puranas. He is not merely repeating scriptures, he is the walking temple or alaya of compassion and wisdom. Jai Gurudev. So this aligns beautifully with the Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Jesus' words. Guru is the one who brings you from darkness to light, not by giving you information, but by awakening the knowledge already hidden within you. In the art of living, Guru Puja is not done as a ritual of external worship, but as a way of acknowledging the eternal lineage that connects us to the infinite. Each time we chant it, we feel that link to the masters from Sri Adi Shankaracharya to our own Gurudev alive in our hearts. Yes, and that is why the mantra says Anato Asmi Satam Nityam, meaning without this eternal chain of masters, I am truly an orphan. The Guru is not worshipped for his personality but for his role as a transmitter of timeless wisdom. This is the very reason Guru Puja is kept so central in both the Vedic tradition and in the art of living path. Jai Gurudev.